A&M Panthers. Head coach Bubba McDowell coming off an off week. They will travel to Florida A&M to take on the Rattlers. Coach McDowell, are you there?
Yes, sir. What's up,
All
guys?
right.
Good morning.
Doing good. Coach, off week, what was the biggest thing that you got accomplished? And taking your team on the road to Tallahassee, what are the challenges that the Rattlers present?
Yeah, we basically got back to the basics. Getting guys lined up, executing assignments, and just getting guys. More important, getting guys healthy. We've been banged up pretty much. Some of the starters have been out, so it was a good week to get them guys rested, and then just back to the fundamental things of football, and basically doing their 100, executing their assignments, and so that's kind of what we did here. As well, just went out, did a little recruiting as well. But going down to Tallahassee, we know we're going into an environment that's going to be hostile, man. And we're going into an environment that's going to be coach that's going to have his team ready to go. I know coach really well, and again, I know he's going to have them guys ready to go. So we just got to go in there, as I've been telling them all week during off week and today. We just got to go out and do our job. You hear all these coaches talking about consistency with their players, and it's the same thing here. We just got to do our job as an individual and let others come in and do their job. And again, as coach said, if we do it all together, we're gonna be fine. We got a good team, we got some good players. Now again, it's just about us going down there and executing.
Thank you, Coach. And we'll open it up for members of the media. We'll go first with Charles Bishop, then Lionel Mosby, and then Dr. Cavill. Charles Bishop, you're up first.
Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Charles.
We talked about it, but you spoke on consistency, and I wanted to speak specifically in regards to the quarterback play from Trezon. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions thus far in the season. But going forward, your goals are still in front of you. But what are the keys to kind of unlocking more consistent play from the quarterback position?
Again, just reading, doing his assignment. Again, just taking what they give us. And again, I think that's kind of across the board. A lot of guys, especially and I wouldn't say this league, but across football and across sports, a lot of times, you tell them to do their job. Coach, Jackson talked about it, Wade talked about it, Ham talked about it, filling those gaps, making those throws, making those catches. And that's what we have to do. I mean, Trey has been good, but then at times he's been not so good. And we, again, coming back down to the consistency part. And I think going into this week, rest time, more film time would give him the opportunity to be ready to go with what Willie and his defense is going to throw at him this week. Because we got to be way better than we were the past game against ACU, which was a bad game all around as a team.
Sure thing. Coming out of the bye week, overall, how's the team health?
Health is good. Like I said, just got some guys rested. Get some big boys back on that O-line. That's, again, we're going to need that's going to help us out. So now just staying healthy throughout the week and travel down to Tallahassee and play a good football team.
Sure thing. Appreciate it, Coach.
Next up, Lionel Mosby, and then Dr. Cavill.
Hey, how you doing, Coach Bubba? It's Lionel from the PV vs. Everybody podcast. Had a question. I know you've spoken before about the back end of the defense and some of the things they've needed to correct and improve. How has that unit been progressing? Or are you still seeing some of the same issues as before?
No, actually, we are progressing, getting better. Still some things to work on, still some ways to go. But yeah, getting better. And that's what you want to see as a coach, head coach, and especially guy, someone that played in secondary. You want to see steady improvement, and we're doing that. Even though the numbers and the score last 2 weeks ago against ACU didn't show that, but again, those guys in the backfield really stepped it up. And again, for them to come off a loss like that and still do well, which is always good, always a confidence builder for them back there. And I expect them to get even better because, again, as I told them, as we go forward, competition is going to get better. They're going to be coached well, and you guys are coached well. Now it's going to come down to who's going to be the better athlete.
Gotcha. Okay. And just a follow-up question. I know recently Coach Eddie George had some criticism of Tennessee State fans and their support at all games. I know most recently the team played at Houston Christian, like you mentioned, which is a big alumni base for the university, but I think only 2,100 people in attendance at the game. How do you feel about the fan support at the game, and what message do you have, if any, from yourself and the players maybe for Panther Nation regarding their support of the team on this last 4-game stretch for the season?
Well, just like I tell them from day one, from spring to training camp to now. I mean, you want fans to come out. Again, you got to win. You got to put good product on the field, and you got to put the wins on the board. And they'll come out and support you. But at the end of the day, as I've always told them, you guys got to play for each other. You got to not be distracted by what's not in the stands, cheering you guys on, as opposed to what's on the field that's trying to win a game against you. So you got to be down. You got to be constantly locked in on that field, not worrying about all the outside noise, because again, a lot of time when you get distracted by that outside noise, things don't go well. And that's been, to me, one of our biggest factor. Again, just trying to keep these guys focused on the game, on the task at hand, and to help us win. Again, we've been there in situation, but for some reason we'll lose it. For some other reason, other like being distracted. Again, not being in that gap, not making that catch, not making that throw during the course of the game. So again, just block out all that noise, and just go play football. And then, hey, fans will come at the end of the day. If you're winning, doing what you're supposed to do, they're gonna come.
Thank you so much, Coach Bubba. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, sir.
All right, next up, Dr. Cavill.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where's my steak
at? Dr. Kenyatta Cavill's Dr. Cavill's inside the HBC Sports Lab. Coach McDowell, I got your steak anytime you want it. I'm surprised that you didn't get it in your hotel room.
I'm just surprised
there has to be something wrong with this picture. Let me call my steakhouse.
Please call your steakhouse. Please call it.
With that being said, appreciate the good nature there, Coach. Coach, I want to talk a little bit about your defensive side of the ball with FAMU. FAMU, early in the season, they might have had some concern with what they were able to do running the ball, but they certainly had a breakout game against Texas Southern, more particularly in the second half. Total stats, they had over 255 yards rushing the ball with a cadre of running backs, similar to what you're able to do at times with your running backs. With that said, defensively, schematic are some things that you believe you can get done to stop that run and try to make them maybe a little more one-dimensional?
Well, I don't know if we're going to make them one-dimensional. Again, with the group he has over there, Jeremy, and the wide receiver and the backs, again, we just got to be in position to make some stops, some big stops, and not give up the big plays. That's been our biggest issue. We can make some stops, Doc, but again, we somehow end up giving up big plays that end up hurting us later. And again, that's due to the fact that we're trying to do too much. As I've told guys, I've said to you guys many times over, if we just, again, be consistent in what we do, myself, at my position, and do my job first, and then let the athletic ability come from there, we're going to be okay. It's when we try to do too much, and these kids, especially, if you're a good player and you're not getting plays, you're not getting targets at you, then you just feel you're left out of the game, and you feel that you got to make a play. And a lot of times that's when mistakes happen, touchdown here or first down there.
Obviously from Florida, been in Texas much longer than you actually were in Florida, where you're born, coming out of there. You have this dialogue going back and forth between Texas players, Florida players. Do you see your players getting excited with the chance to go play in the state of Florida up against a team with the majority of Florida players against Texas? And what does that look like if that's the case?
Yeah, they do. They always gonna have a Florida, Texas, little rivalry thing going on. And I told them that's good, because again, that's what gets you going, to go out there and execute what you need to execute for 4 quarters of football. I mean, let's get it done, and I love it, because again, it's about going out there competing. I've said from day one, as I told them, I'm like, look, man, a lot of you guys are pretty talented across the board on their side, even on our side. Some of you guys' skill set are pretty much the same. Now it's just going to go. You have to go out and play 4 quarters of football, and best guy's going to win that battle for 4 quarters of football.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend. Certainly look forward to the matchup.
Thank you. Are you trying to say something with that tie too?
Always, Coach. You see, I got your back. That's why I said I don't understand why you didn't get to state. I told Coach Simmons it was purposeful.
And for Dr. Cavill, we do not do any ancillary promotions of new products and businesses. So the Cavill Steak Delivery is not a sponsored member of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. But we thank you so very much, Cavill, and we thank you
Not
so
yet,
much.
not yet.
Not yet. All right. Next up, thank you, Coach. Good luck to you as you travel to Florida.
Thank you, gentlemen.